So excited about today's episode. Number one, I get to interview a best-selling author, and you guys are going to love Donna Brown. She's just an amazing human being. But number two, there's still 3 days left to join the Network Marketing Academy. I opened the doors on Memorial Day, and I have an incredible training planned for network marketers. I do monthly masterclasses, and this month's masterclass is actually about how to build, lead, and grow your network marketing team. There's monthly masterclasses that rotate between mindset, organizational skills, lead generation, and social media understanding and branding. It's only $29 a month. You have access to all the previous masterclasses from this year and from 2019. So if you guys go to www.thenetworkmarketingacademy.net/membership, you can sign up before the doors close. And again, you're going to love this episode, so I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Scott Aaron, and each and every week I'm going to come to you with short, simple, and powerful tactics of how you can grow your network marketing business, brand, bank account, and impact on those around you. And just remember, network marketing is not easy, but it can be made easy with simple steps to create the success that you truly deserve. So Donna, welcome to today's episode. And I always love these episodes when I get to interview another fellow author, and there's something really special. And I always tell people that everyone has a book that is to be written inside of them, but the process of actually getting that book out from people's heads and put pen to paper, it's a whole other ball game. And I really encourage people that have always thought about writing a book, just start. And obviously connecting with Donna, actually how it all happened is we have some mutual connections, and I saw that she was tagged in a post. One of my clients tagged me in a post, and she said she had all these books that were laid out and that she was going to read, and one of mine was on the table, and so was Donna's. And I ended up reaching out to Donna. I said, I see you're a fellow co-author and an author. I would love to talk to you. And then we had a little Zoom meeting a few weeks back and just hit it off. And I said, you know what, you'd be a great fit for my podcast. So now here we are. But obviously, Donna, for a lot of people that don't know about you and your diverse background, why don't you give the audience a little bit of a sneak peek into Donna Brown's life, who she is, what she stands for, and then we can kind of backtrack a little bit and talk about the entrepreneurial journey that you've been on.
Absolutely. So I have been on this journey that I'm currently on. It's been 5.5 years, and my life completely changed after I jumped off a cliff on a family vacation. I had been sitting in regret and feelings of self-doubt, and we were on family vacation, and my kids were all jumping, and Mom, come do it. I'm like, no, thank you. I'll take your picture, but I'm going to sit right here. And after 2 hours, they said, Mom, you've got to do this. It's so fun. It's safe. And I thought if I leave there without doing that, I would have ended up with another regret. And so I made my way over. I stood at the top of the cliff and I actually jumped. Scariest thing in my life.
Yeah. So how, and that's really interesting because, not to intervene, but, you hear the analogy of sometimes you have to just take that leap of faith. And I think that's very comparable to what you did. So number one, where were you on this vacation?
We were on the coast of Massachusetts at a family member's home, and been going there for 25 years. And this was the first time you have to have all of these elements in perfect alignment for it to happen. The wind, the water, the waves, the temperature, the tide, which is the most important thing. The tide has to be high and on its way out, because if it's coming in, you'll crash into the rocks. And It was the scariest and one of the most exhilarating things that I did. And when I came out of the water, I mean, it took me a while to get my nerve up standing there. But once I jumped and came out of the water, I came out of the water and screamed, I did it. Like, I was so proud of myself, so proud, and the adrenaline and the energy. And that knowing I did that gave me so much confidence and pride. I was so proud of myself for doing that. And a week later, I met the woman who is my publisher. She was my coach. She has played an integral role in my life in these past 5.5 years. And it just gave me the confidence to say yes to so many things. And so from that, I became a published author for the first time in 2016. I became a certified coach, Reiki Master, crystal healer. I'm now a speaker, and I do trainings and retreats. So there are so many facets to my business, and all of that became possible because I said yes to that jump.
So let's talk about the old Donna Brown, the Donna Brown before she, quote unquote, took the leap of faith off of that cliff. So paint a picture, because, obviously I have my audience it's very diverse, but it's a lot of network marketers, a lot of coaches, a lot of entrepreneurs. And you and I both know the benefit to taking that leap of faith, because playing it safe gets you nowhere. And sometimes you have to risk in order to reap the reward. And you hear that all the time. So just to give people some clarity about how far Donna has actually come, just in the last 5 years, let's talk about Donna the years before that. So who was she, and how different was she from who is here today?
Sure. So that's actually what I wrote in my first chapter when I wrote In Women Who Ignite back in 2016. It was how I was living with regret and feeling less than, because I went to college. I went to 3 colleges over 5 years, never graduated. And because of that decision, I was sitting in a place of feeling as though I wasn't smart and less than, and would compare myself to others who had these amazing careers because they went through the whole process, graduated and had these amazing jobs. And I got married, became a mom. And for me, that was the safe place. It's like, okay, nobody's going to ask me what I used to do. All they know me as Donna Brown, the mom. And it was amazing. I have 3 amazing kids. And when they started to get older and need me a little bit less, I did get involved with a network marketing company because it was a way for me to get out of the house, to do it on my own schedule, on my own terms. And that was pretty amazing, to be able to have that outlet and that source of income. But it still wasn't fulfilling for me. I needed something else. And I went through the motions, and on the outside, my life looked amazing. We live in a nice house in a great neighborhood. We go on these great vacations. I drive a nice car. But on the inside, I felt like there had to be something missing. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know what my mission was in this world. I didn't even have the vocabulary to say that. But looking back on it now, it was so important. I felt such a sense of emptiness almost, not really certain what I was here for, what my purpose was. And once I took that leap, suddenly everything just started to show up. I was so open to learning new things. I was so open to this new network of friends that I have made, who are all like-minded, mostly women, like-minded women who understand the power of mindfulness, of gratitude, of journaling, of self-improvement, and the power of working on yourself and just diving deep to figure out how you can make a difference in the world and light up a room when you walk in. That was really the most profound experience for me.
So let's dive into something that you said was the image of success. And I think that you're actually like me. We see a lot of this on social media. We see this on Facebook. We see this on Instagram, where everyone's life looks absolutely picture perfect. There, there are no flaws. Every picture is pristine. Everyone is happy. And then behind closed doors, it can be an absolute shit show. And we would never even know it because what do people do? They show the good times. They don't reveal the the trying times and the moments of uncertainty and the downtime. So let's talk about the image of what success is, because again, you had a good career in network marketing. You had the nice house, you had the nice car, you had still have three amazing kids. Like on paper, it looked like Donna had it all. But inside, there was a part of you that was still craving more, where it's almost like you weren't living your truth. You wanted to be more genuine and authentic. And I know that we talk about imposter syndrome and we talk about comparison and all of those things. And we see this a lot in network marketing, where people are being taught how to quote unquote look successful, be positive, be motivating, be inspiring on social media. But behind closed doors, they're in a deep depression. They're living in self-doubt and disbelief, and can I actually do this? So let's speak to that. When you crossed that line, you were on the one side of the street where Donna's life looked perfect, but it wasn't. And then when you started actually living your truth and you went to the other side of the street, talk about how freeing that is to really show up every day exactly who you are, not pretending, not putting on any masks and giving the look or the image of something, and how empowering that could be for someone else that maybe isn't living their truth right now.
Hmm. So what's interesting is, yeah, I was one of those people. It's like everything looked great. Everything seemed great. And it was so freeing after I wrote that first chapter. And the title was Finding Fabulous at 52. So I referred to my leap as my leap to fabulous. And when people read my story, I shared how I saw myself. I shared what my self beliefs were. And people were so surprised. But it was the most freeing thing to have it out there. It's like, finally, I can be who I am and admit to how I felt about myself, admit to the pain I felt. And it was so freeing. And the number of people who have come up to me and told me how my story impacted them was the most rewarding feeling I have ever felt. Because I've had people come to me as coaching clients because they've read my story, because they understood that I could relate to them, because they had maybe had a similar journey. And so, you talked about comparison. Comparing yourself to others does no good to anyone, ever. Because as you said, people are showing their highlight reels. We don't know what's going on behind the curtain. We assume that because they're showing those pictures on social media, that everything's picture perfect and they're living their life that way. I had hard lessons to learn along the way, but living in my truth has been so freeing. And the most amazing thing was, or surprising or unbelievable, was right before our book launch officially in 2016, I went to my high school reunion and met two of my guy friends. I got there early because for the first time I felt proud to go back and see these classmates. And talking to two guys, oh, what have you been up to? I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a published author. Oh my gosh, what'd you write? My story. What does that mean? Well, my journey of how I got from where I was to where I am now. I'm like, what does that mean? I said, well, how I believed, because I didn't finish college, that I wasn't smart. And it kept me playing small for 30 years. And they looked at me and they said, What? I'm sorry, you think you weren't smart? Yeah. Donna, you were one of the smartest people in high school. And literally, I sat there and cried because I had been living for 30 years having that belief. And again, it's a perception. How we think of ourselves is so different than how others see us. So different.
So, you spoke briefly about um, your big truths, and I love asking this question. What do you think was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome in your journey to where you are right now? And what was the lesson that you learned from it? So, what was that obstacle, and what did Donna take away from overcoming that obstacle?
Well, for me, it was the belief that I was worthy of being in this space. And I still fight that. Am I worthy of sharing my message? Am I worthy of standing on a stage and delivering a keynote to inspire others? I still, to be honest, struggle with that from time to time. And again, I have to go to my self talk. It's like, what am I saying to myself? I have to remind myself that I'm pretty awesome. And I have done these great things and I have inspired people and I have made an impact on others. And that's what I have to go back to, because if I allow that negative self talk reel to start, it stops me. And so, and that's a lesson that it's one of the number one things I share with clients is like, what is your self talk saying? Because that's the most detrimental thing that we can allow in our lives. And once
So,
we learn to correct that and change it into a positive, that's where you see the growth.
so men and women aside, let's talk about human beings, because I think everybody struggles with this. What what is it about? And again, self-worth is such a deep dive topic, because there's so many layers to it. It could be the household that you were brought up in. It could be the way that certain people in your life spoke to you or about you or to you. Why is it so hard for some people to really understand how powerful of an individual they are, and understanding that how great their self-worth is?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's how they were brought up, how the people that were in their world spoke to them, how they, incidents in life. I mean, that issue of not feeling smart started for me when I was in kindergarten. I had a teacher tell me I wasn't smart because I misspelled a word, and that stuck with me for years and years and years. We allow people to say something to us and believe that it's true because we don't have the confidence to say, no, you're wrong, or because they're older and we assume our elders know everything. It's conditioning. It could be any number of things. But until we have the strength and the courage to face whatever those obstacles are, we allow them to affect us negatively. So it's so important. I'm a big believer in affirmations and positive thinking. And again, the gratitude, it's all of that works together to improve our self-image and our self-talk and how we show up.
You you speak a lot about finding your joy, because it all those things are inside of us. So talk about how you found your joy, and how you help others dig deep and find theirs as well.
Sure. So I found my joy. Took a few years and it took a lot of self reflection and work on myself. And it was the steps that I did to get there, the daily rituals, and then my energy work. Um, so to start with, it was allowing myself to really dream of what my life could be. If I could have anything, if I could be, do, or be with whomever I wanted, what would that look like? Like paint this picture of whatever you dream of. And it sounds impossible. And I believe that anything is possible. If you do the work, if you have your mindset right, if you are open to possibilities, it may not come in the same form, it may not show up in the way that you thought it would, but I do believe that we have the power. Our mind is so powerful. I believe that we can create just about anything. And most importantly, it's the positive attitude and it's the gratitude. Because if you are grateful for what you have, instead of focusing on what you don't have, you will train yourself to focus on things that bring you joy. When you focus on things that aren't working or that you wish you had and are living in doubt and negativity, all you will see is more of that. But once you shift that to the positive and focus on what you do have and be grateful for it, more of that will show up.
I talk about often that what you think about most often is what you become. So if you're thinking negative, if you're thinking uncertain, if you're thinking all those things, you're going to refacilitate that. But I also talk about the physiological side of gratitude. It's impossible to feel any other feeling when you are practicing the act of gratitude. When you are thinking about what you're grateful for and writing it down, can't feel sad, can't feel angry, you can't feel hateful. Gratitude enables you to release a oxytocin. It's a natural chemical that our brain produces. It's the feel good chemical that your brain produces. And when that's why it's so important. You hear people, what do people do? They start their day with gratitude, they end their day with gratitude. So it's so powerful for people to do that. So with everything that you're doing now, the light work, the energy healing, the all Reiki, all of that, what's been the biggest shift for you being a self practitioner? Because this is not, you don't just practice on other people. This is something that Donna practices herself. How beneficial has all of those things been for you personally? And why is it important for others that have not stepped into that arena of personal development? How important is, working with someone that's a light worker or Reiki or energy or crystals? How beneficial can that be for them as well?
Well, it's huge. And it's all, we all operate on a vibrational frequency. And so people who have a higher frequency, a higher vibration are, let's say, above the line, and they are typically more positive. They show gratitude. They find the good things in everything. And people who operate on a low vibrational frequency tend to be negative. Bad things tend to happen to them, and they have a hard time finding joy. So when you do any of the elements that I practice, which are Reiki, meditation, gratitude, all of those raise your vibration, raise your frequency, and it changes your body chemistry. And so when meditation and gratitude also, the combination of that also raises your self-worth. And so it is so important to practice it daily. And I know if for some reason I'm out of whack and I miss one of those, I feel it in my body. And I have to stop what I'm doing and do it at that moment, because it instantly changes that vibration. And so Reiki has been one of my biggest tools. It allows me, I practice it on myself daily. I send it out to the world. I send it out to friends. I send it out whenever I read, please send prayers. I just immediately send Reiki, because I believe there is so much power in it. My clients feel it across the country. I know I have a really strong energy field and can support other people. And, and even if you don't practice Reiki, if you can just find your center through meditation, through gratitude, and just sitting still. And I had a really hard time meditating at first because my mind doesn't stop. But I found that nature, is just as soothing for me. Watching the trees sway in the wind, looking at the flowers, just being grateful for Mother Nature is so huge. That can shift you almost immediately as well. So there are lots of different ways to access it.
So let's talk about the typical client that Donna works with, because you do so many different things. So the person that's listening to this that, you know, has been interested in Reiki and energy healing and crystals and meditation and gratitude, that maybe has heard of it, maybe they're practicing a little bit of it, but doesn't really know how to harness the power of it. How does Donna work with people, and how can they find out more about you and what you do?
Sure. Well, first of all, on my website, I have all of the different practices that I have. My coaching is on there. Reiki is on there. I do a distant chakra balancing. So all of that can be found on my website, which is donnabrowndesigns.com. And I love coaching. To me, it combines all of my gifts. So when I have a coaching client, they get Reiki, they get crystals as part of their package, and they learn all of these tools and techniques about mindset and gratitude. And we dig deep to really help uncover what their true passion is, what will bring them joy, because that is what lights me up most, is supporting others in finding that space that is this magic spot. So I, I get great joy in having, when my clients get that aha, when they say, oh my gosh, I feel it, I understand it, this happened, what I've been dreaming about, I finally have. All of those things just come together, and it is such true joy for me to witness that happening for others.
Yeah, it's a powerful thing, and that's why I love coaching so much too, because it giving back to people in that way. Yes, they're investing in the coach, but it, they're really investing in themselves, because they're opening up this portal, this door, this new way that could completely shift their life forever, and it feels so good to be doing that for someone. So Donna, talk about, I mean, a few weeks ago you just released a brand new book. So let's talk about the new book, you know, what it's all about, and how people can go grab it.
Absolutely. So the book is called Women Who Rise, and it is a collection of 30 women who have shared their stories, overcoming fear, overcoming pain. It is so inspiring and amazing. I've gotten to know these women over this journey, and the readers are in for a big treat. And I feel so grateful to be a part of this. So my chapter is titled, I am totally worth it. And it's about being worthy, and my journey through that. And I'm very proud of it, and I'm excited to be a part of the book and for the readers to be able to read all the stories. And it'll be available on my website. You'll be able to get there's a link. I have a personalized copy, so my picture's on the front. So there's the core book initially, and then whoever chose, we have our individual copies. So my picture will be on the front cover, and that's available on my website, either linked to Amazon through that, or they can get a signed copy from me. So they'll be able to choose.
Beautiful. And social media wise, outside of your website, how can people best connect with you on social media and follow you?
Sure. So my Facebook page is Donna Brown Designs. My Instagram is Crystal to Clarity. And I'm also on LinkedIn as Donna N. Brown.
Awesome. And all of that information for the listeners will be in the show notes. So Donna, number one, thank you so much for being here today. I can truly attest that, you know, your energy is definitely felt even through just recording a podcast. It's you do have this energy about you. And I know that we connected for a reason. So I'm just grateful that you're able to be here and share your wisdom, your gifts, and your love with my listeners. So thank you so much for being here today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for asking me. I feel that connection as well. And I'm very, very grateful that you have invited me to share my story.
Well, it's my pleasure. But before we go, I always end every episode with one question. So, Donna, what does success truly mean to you?
Success to me is being able to live in joy, being grateful for what you have, and just being content and grateful for your life, honestly.
I love, gratitude is the best attitude. And when people start practicing it, they can really understand the power of it and how much it can really shift your life. So, again, Donna, thank you so, so much for being here. All the ways that people can connect with you will be in the show notes, and just appreciate you very much. And thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, guys, as always, take a screenshot of wherever you're listening to and from, post it on social media. Let us know what your shares and takeaways are. And if you love this episode on iTunes, like the podcast, leave a genuine and authentic rating and review, and let us know what you thought. So, again, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you again so much for checking out this week's episode. And if you can, head over to iTunes, search for Network Marketing Made Simple, leave me a 5-star rating, basic review. I would be grateful for all of the support you guys can give me. And again, if you'd be interested in learning more how to utilize LinkedIn to grow your business, your brand, and your bank account, head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form for your free 15-minute discovery call so I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can work together. And again, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you all, and I'll see you next time.